First, I hope you're taking care of yourselves, taking it easy on yourselves, and leaning on each other. You've been through an extraordinarily difficult experience, including the loss of 3 students and the injuries to 2 others, but also a 12-hour ordeal of sheltering in place and the fear and uncertainty that attended each one of those hours, whether you were a student, faculty, staff member, or parent. Second, I'd like to thank student leaders for organizing the silent vigil on Monday night, which was as powerful as it was beautiful. And thanks as well for letting us know what would be most useful for your fellow students as we resume classes. Thanks in turn to Provost Balcom and the deans for listening to our students, and thanks especially to our faculty for making these accommodations. There's nothing normal about what we're going through as a community, and I deeply appreciate everyone's flexibility to meet this moment, including our outstanding staff who have been helping out in countless ways. Third, as you may have already heard, there will be no football game this weekend per the decision of the football team and supported by our athletic director, Carla Williams, and head football coach, Tony Elliott. Instead, there will be a memorial service at 3:30 p.m. in JPJ to honor the lives of Devin Chandler, Lavelle Davis Jr., and Deshaun Perry, as well as the 2 students injured in the shooting, Mike Hollins and Marley Morgan. The event is open to all and will also be live streamed. More details will be coming by email shortly. Fourth, just a reminder that spaces to gather as well as support services, including walk-in counseling, continue to be available. You can find more information about all of this on the Student Affairs website. Our Student Affairs team has also been offering additional support and accommodations to those students who are on the field trip, as well as those directly impacted or closely associated with the victims of the violence. Fifth, the criminal investigation is underway, and we are also inviting an external review with respect to the university's interactions with the suspect and whether we did all we could to prevent or avoid this tragedy. This will likely take a while, but we will share and act upon what we ultimately learn. It's possible and perhaps likely that we will never find one single thing that will explain this. It may also be that we never truly understand why this happened, but what we learn, we will share. Finally, in case this is even remotely helpful, especially to our students, I know from past experience that grief and mourning can be unsettling and unpredictable. And if you're like me, you may not be sure when, if ever, to get back into a normal routine. I've come to learn that it's different for everyone, and that getting back to a normal routine doesn't mean that you as a person are necessarily back to normal. Grief will run the course it needs to run. In my experience, it never fully disappears. It just shows up in different ways over time. I hope you'll continue to give yourself grace and ask for help if and when you need it, especially given that the grief in this instance was compounded by fear and trauma. Returning to a routine like starting classes again also doesn't mean, importantly, that you're being disloyal to or betraying the person you lost. I appreciate that it might feel that way to some of you, as I've had that feeling before myself. First when I lost my father, again when I lost my mother, and then again when I lost my law school roommate. Returning to some sense of routine when you're ready, and as hard as it might be, doesn't mean that any of you or any of us have forgotten or will ever forget Devin, Lavelle, or Deshaun. It's just a sign that life is thankfully persistent. It continues to beckon all of us, even in the darkest days. And shared grief, as the vigil showed, is a keen reminder that it is our bonds with each other and with a common community that give us the strength to endure, and that are more real and powerful than our perceived differences. I hope all of us can carry that knowledge with us in the days ahead and can continue to draw strength and comfort from one another. And let me say once again that as hard as things are right now, it remains a humbling privilege to be a part of this remarkably caring community. Thank you.